हम आपके लिए लाए हैं एक सनसनीखेज खबर। मैं आप सभी को बता दूं कि ये ब्रेकिंग न्यूज आप सबको सोच में डाल देगी।
दीपांकर
तो
जी,
आइए आप मेरे साथ।
दीपांकर जी, हेलो हेलो हेलो। आज आप बता ही दीजिए कि आप ब्रेकिंग न्यूज सुनाने वाले हैं या ब्रोकन न्यूज?
मैं अपने दर्शकों को बता दूं, ये हैं अमीना कुरैशी जी, आवाज भारती की एडिटर इन चीफ।
नमस्ते।
और अमीना जी, जोश 24/7 सिर्फ देश के हित की बात करता है, क्योंकि सवाल है देश का।
आप देश के हित की नहीं, अपनी टीआरपी के हित की बात करते हैं, क्योंकि जब खबर को तोड़ मरोड़ के उसमें सनसनी का मिर्च मसाला डालकर परोसा जाए तो वो ब्रेकिंग नहीं, देश के हित की नहीं, ब्रेकिंग नहीं, ब्रोकन न्यूज होती है।
अच्छा, दोनों लड़ना बंद कर दीजिए प्लीज़, अमीना जी और दीपांकर जी। हाय दीपांकर जी। वेल, मैं एब्सोल्युटली आपसे सहमत हूँ, बिकॉज न्यूज़ इज़ ऑल अबाउट फैक्ट्स नॉट फिक्शन। पर लोगों को काफ़ी बार सच्चाई में इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, उन्हें वो बोरिंग लगता है। तो सच्ची खबर का क्या फ़ायदा जो लोगों तक पहुँचे ही नहीं? क्या फ़ायदा उन राइट और
एग्जैक्टली राधा
क्या
भार्गव जी,
फ़ायदा?
आप बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं। और इसलिए मैं कहता हूं कि मैं कहानियां सुनाता हूं, न्यूज नहीं।
हाँ, वो ठीक है, पर इतनी कहानियाँ भी अच्छी नहीं है, क्योंकि क्या फ़ायदा उन सनसनीखेज कहानियों का जो लोगों तक पहुँचे नहीं, और क्या फ़ायदा उस न्यूज़ का जो सच है ही नहीं। तो आई थिंक ये जनता को डिसाइड करना चाहिए कि वो क्या चाहते हैं, सच या सनसनी। और ये हम देखेंगे हमारे नए शो में द ब्रोकन न्यूज़ ऑन Z5।
Who was a convincing person?
Definitely tough to convince because
Yeah.
I was waiting. You know, it's not about which or how long your role is. It's about what you're saying in the role. Or I was very clear that when I came back and I came back with this thing, I would do a role which stood for something, which said something, and it had strength in it. The voice that was given to the character that I played had a strong voice, that character. So that was very, very important. And I think Amina has a strong voice. She stands for something. And rest, we are all human beings. And Amina, as a human being, is going through certain amount of confusions and certain amount of, what do you say? Dilemma. Yeah, that sort of a thing in her life. And that is the drama. But it's exciting and quite interesting to see the drama that goes on behind the camera in a newsroom. And I thought that was something that needed to be shown to the public.
Of course, all of us are actually used to that drama behind the closed room also. Shreya, आपका जो creative palette है, मतलब जो buffet service आपका चल रहा है, it's fantastic. So before, I call the creative people that, have been involved with you also. But what's your mantra for, or the blueprint for choosing a role? It's fantastic. Congratulations on every role that you choose. But कैसे?
Thank you so much. Well, I think today it's all about good content and a good script. I think the starting point is a good script, and अच्छी team होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. So combination of BBC, Vinay sir, the writers, and of course knowing that I get the opportunity to work with the Sonali Bendre and the Jaideep
Now
Ahlawat.
she's pulling my leg.
No, for an actor like me, that is the greatest honor, to be very honest. And I like to pick parts that are not just entertaining, that will not just make an impact, but that also raise certain questions. And like she mentioned, ये बहुत ज़्यादा relevant है. And जिस तरह के हमने topics या जिस तरह के किरदार दिखाए हैं, people will be able to spot all kinds of people. तो ये entertaining भी है, और इससे आप कुछ बहुत आप सोचेंगे इसके बारे में. I know that, so I guess that's what.
The Jaideep Ahlawat. सर, आपके नाम में अब ये ऐड हो चुका है. मतलब कि आप जो भी प्रोजेक्ट लेते हैं, मतलब ये है कि ये ISI मार्क इस पे लग चुका है. तो एक सवाल आपसे भी है सर, आपको कन्विंस करना आसान है सर प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, या बहुत डर जाते हैं मेकर्स प्लस क्रिएटिव पीपल जब आपके पास पहले आ रहे होते हैं?
आई डोंट नो सर। एक तो ये द जयदीप अहलावत क्यों कहा, मुझे समझ नहीं आया। और मुझे नहीं पता, ये सवाल मुझे लगता है मेकर्स को जाके पूछना पड़ेगा कि ऐसा तो कुछ है नहीं। पर मैं बहुत सहज भाव वाला आदमी हूँ। आई रीड स्क्रिप्ट्स, इफ इट गिव्स मी समथिंग टू स्टे विद इट, आई से यस टू इट। एंड जैसे दोनों ने कह ही दिया है कि इससे रेलेवेंट आई थिंक सब्जेक्ट अभी इस देश में बहुत कम है, जहां हम हर दिन मीडिया की न्यूज़ की बात करते हैं और उसमें हम किस तरह से लोगों को क्या दिखाया जाना चाहिए और क्या नहीं दिखाया जाना चाहिए और किस तरह से लोगों तक पहुंचनी चाहिए खबर, उसके ऊपर ये सारी कहानी है। और जैसे श्रेया ने कहा कि ना सिर्फ आप उस न्यूज़ के पीछे कहानियों में या उस न्यूज़ रूम को देखेंगे, आप उस वर्ल्ड में जो लोग रहते हैं और उनकी अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ और प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में क्या-क्या हो सकता है, वो भी देखने को मिलेगा। तो बहुत कुछ है इसमें।
देखता हूं कि किस तरह से सोचा जाता होगा, क्यूरेशन कैसे किया जाए. You know, it's fast becoming the fastest growing platform. It's a homegrown platform. And the person that is possibly responsible for making sure that the right pick, कि आपके पहले starter में क्या है, फिर आपके main course में क्या है, और फिर dessert में क्या है. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nimisha Pandey, Chief Content Officer in the originals for Z5. Can I have her on stage, please? And ladies, you all can take a seat till then. Yes, this is for you. And can we get a mic for Nimisha as well? Yeah. Sure, Ricardo. Congratulations, Nimisha.
Thank you.
ट्रेलर अभी दिखाया नहीं है, लेकिन ऑलरेडी जब तीन ऐसे कलाकार बोल देते हैं, वाह, वी लव इट, वी आर गेटिंग वेरी एक्साइटेड. What excites you as a person who chooses the content? You know, because the content word is, I think, sometimes very overused. Everybody thinks everything is content. You're getting it right, so congratulations on that. But how?
We are trying. We are hoping we get it right. So I think ये relevant word जो use किया सोनाली ने, श्रेया ने और जयदीप ने, but relevant कहानी ना सिर्फ इसलिए क्योंकि ये न्यूज़ वर्ल्ड की कहानी है, and you know it is something that we are seeing in our everyday lives today. It is also very relevant क्योंकि इस कहानी में जो किरदार हैं वो are not entirely black or white or right or wrong. And I think that is something that fascinated me and my creative team the most to this story, is that like in real life, you cannot be all the time right or all the time wrong. And sometimes you do wrong things for right reasons or right things for wrong reasons. And it's actually, ये जो lines जो blur होती है ना, that makes for interesting storytelling. That makes for interesting characters. तो मतलब इस series में जितने characters हैं, you will see from the time they start to the time they end. The journey that they take with the story is a journey that is extremely gratifying. It's a journey that people will be able to relate to, and it's a journey that is real. So we are not making larger than life heroes in the show. We are making very, very real characters, and that is what we were very excited and proud about. Another thing is that it's a super entertaining story, but while entertaining people, it asks certain questions which we often feel scared to ask because of various reasons. I am also very happy that, you know, the brave team of the writer, director, the team at Z5 has managed to push that envelope to actually ask those difficult questions and to make those topics part of a mainstream entertaining show. More than this, you will obviously have to watch the trailer for you to understand what am I really saying. But, you know, I just feel that as storytellers, we have this opportunity. We are privileged enough to have this stage. I am privileged enough to be at a place where I can pick which story gets to be made. And I think that responsibility is huge. तो ऐसी कहानी कहना जिसमें सिर्फ entertainment और मसाला ना हो, पर कुछ थोड़ा सा और भी हो, is extremely important, and I'm proud that this show does that. So that is like a long answer. Of course, there were many, many other reasons of why we decided to greenlight the show. The show came from BBC. So, you know, when Sameer came and shared the show, we knew that there is a studio backing the show that will be able to mount it at a scale that we wanted it to. And then we approached Vinay, the man behind really making it all happen. And that is when it really started, you know, coming together. Vinay and Sameer, I mean, this conversation cannot be complete without you guys being here. So why don't you just come here so that we can chat more about it?
We'll have media and the press, which is a very contentious issue.
So most stories are funny, but this is really funny. When we got a call saying ki kya hai leke aao, we were like, this is the time when there's so much of clutter in the market in terms of content today. There is so much happening, so much good work happening. So there was a lot of pressure on the team to come up with something that is slightly differentiated and relevant, as Nimisha said. And this has been a format that's been very close to our heart, and coming from the BBC, a show like this will be close to our heart. So when we presented it, I think the first thing that they gave us after they saw the presentation was a delivery date. They didn't ask us about the cast, they didn't ask us about the director. They said, ye 1st April ko launch karna hai. Luckily, that was April Fool's Day. But here we are, and we found Dipankar in Ooty. We were shooting for another show for Z, and that's how this partnership has all come together. And then when we approached Sonali and Shriya, like these were all our first choices. We've been after Sonali to do something, and when we presented Amina's character to her, the rest is history. And then half the job became easier because Vinay came on board. So I think it's the team behind it and the team at BBC that actually pulled this off. And we've got fantastic partners in Nimisha and Pragati and Jahan who helped us through this journey. So Z has backed us with the vision, with the mounting, with the scale, and we just can't be more thankful to them.
Television, films, there's always these creative differences. It's a very big word. Or it's a story that has to be told that you have direct now, immediately just the episode aa gaya, you'll get immediate reaction. So creatively, how satisfying has this been with you? How difficult or easy? You know, working with the producers, working with the channel, how has it been?
It has been difficult, but very satisfying. So it's a nice combination, you know. I mean, like something easy doesn't excite us anyway. So it was difficult, but it was very, very, very exciting. And, you know, first time when they asked me whether I'll be interested in directing the show, the moment I watched it, I thought that, oh, this is something which I really, really, really want to, you know, work on. Because normally you don't get this kind of content in the, sorry, I mean like, you know, in the Indian scenario to work on. So I'm really, really, really thankful to BBC and Z for picking up a show like this. Once we got the original show, we started adapting it. Sambit joined as a writer. But the energy of the original show was so interesting and fascinating, you know. Whoever are joining in, like, let that be like, you know, Hari as a DP or like, you know, a production designer, Nikhil, everybody. So what happened is like, you know, when the content is right, the energy is right, everybody who comes in, you know, gets into that energy and then things start becoming very easy. You know, वो माहौल correct बनना चाहिए कि सबका goal एक है, हम क्या बताना चाहते हैं, and when you have a content like that, it becomes very easy to get people, you know, together and get going about.
Sanjeeta, just about you just getting on the show, you've got these big names. कई बार क्या हो जाता है, you know, it's like a test match. आप जब नई entry मार रहे होते हो टीम के अंदर, you know, हो ये 3-4 player हैं, I should put my best foot forward. But yeah, it looks like the best foot has come forward. Everyone seems very happy. Let's have your thoughts.
Well, honestly, I was not intimidated because everyone made me feel like I was home. Taruk happens to be, you know, my friend since I was in 7th grade. Shriya and I became close like instantly. Sonali ma'am has this aura about her that is just so easygoing, so lovely. And Vinay sir as well. Everyone just made me feel like I was taken care of and there's nothing to be afraid of, just do you, and that's all. And so there was nothing, it was not like, there was no pressure, which I'm really grateful for, and I'm really looking
really?
forward to
You didn't feel
it.
the pressure? Oh,
I mean,
she
under
got away easy.
I mean,
And also it helps, na 7th grade. So ये 7th grade की story, I mean, what a life has come a big circle, brother. Imagine.
Yeah, we used to sing in a band together. Like it was insane that we're in a show together all these years later.
And you're getting paid for it. Wow.
Yeah, I mean this
That
is
time
like,
you didn't get paid, na, in the band.
no.
So just a quick wrap before I go into the trailer. your thoughts, you know, when you see yourself on the screen, you've seen your bits. कैसा लग रहा है?
I mean, sir, कैसा लग रहा है?
बता दो आपको कैसे लगा पता?
I'm actually I'm so grateful to just be a part of this show because, you know, like Vanessa said, something like this doesn't come along your way very often. And I was just lucky enough to be a part of this and work with these amazing people, whether it's, you know, Vanessa, Jaideep sir, Sonali ma'am, Shreya, who's like an old friend of mine, and I was just super excited. So I think it all fell into place. It was like an ideal scenario to be in, plus school friends. So, I mean...
Perfect. You know the net worth questions, worth $70 million, $7 million, $5 million. When you type na celebrity ka net worth hota hai, aise online aa jata hai. Have you ever Googled yourself and seen how many pages there are about you या क्या लिखा आपके बारे में? A lot of people like to do it. आप करते हो?
No, I haven't done
Never
that.
ever.
क्योंकि you see, Amina believes in fact.
अच्छा. Right, you've got away. Shreya, we've given you enough time.
You know, the thing is, unfortunately, I can make up some rubbish right now, but
But
ऐसे
Radha
कुछ
doesn't
मैंने...
believe in fiction.
हाँ, Radha is a little shady like that.
No, I'm not asking Radha, I'm asking Shreya.
हाँ, no, मैं सोच रही हूँ ऐसे कुछ मैंने कभी इतना ऐसे dramatic या ऐसे
या फिर
scandalous
leaked
हुआ
out
ही
news.
नहीं है.
या फिर leaked out news. A lot of the times, you know, people when they want to, you know, big questions of it. They say airport look, gym look. The third option is also, you know, leaked out look. And you somehow see the whole cast in that leaked out look also. ऐसा कभी आपके साथ हुआ है जो actually leak out हुआ?
Actually, I don't do too many airport looks or gym looks because people usually are dressed up really well to the gym with makeup. So मैं बहुत जल्दी जाती हूँ gym, तो मैं कभी भी वहाँ पे paps को बुलाती नहीं हूँ.
Right.
So unfortunately, I don't have any ऐसा मसालेदार story, but I'm sure हो जाएगी in a year or two. पर अभी फिलहाल नहीं है मेरे पास.
तरक्की का यही तो sign है
वही
जब लोग
exactly.
आपके
तो मुझे और बहुत तरक्की करनी है, फिर उसके बाद मुझे पता चलेगा लोग क्या क्या लिखेंगे.
Okay, you know, you've had so many interactions over the years with journalists. Has there ever been a time when you've not liked this idea of giving interviews or coming out there? You know, now it's a lot easier, more transparent. Years back, was there times when there would be intimidating journalists, without taking any names, of course, but that you would, yes, for you, where you would feel that I'm not sure I want to give this and I want to be very careful when I'm giving this?
You know, when you see the trailer also, I think it's a human story. और journalists भी human beings हैं. जैसे हम ट्रेलर में मैं हमेशा बोलती हूँ कि हम मिरर दिखा रहे हैं सोसाइटी को कि दिस इज़ व्हाट इज़ हैपनिंग. उसी तरह से मैं कहूँगी कि ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम आपके साथ ऐसे जर्नलिस्ट भी हैं जो बहुत गुड फ्रेंड्स हैं, जिनसे सीखने को मिला है, और कुछ हैं जो उतने अच्छे नहीं रहे हैं. आई थिंक वो यू गेट सम गुड, यू गेट सम बैड. सो इंटिमिडेटिंग तब होता है जब आप नए होते हो और अगर आपसे कुछ बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग सवाल पूछे जाए जिनका यू आर नॉट प्रिपेयर्ड विद द आंसर और यू डोंट नो व्हाट इट इज़ अबाउट, तो यू गेट इंटिमिडेटेड. लेकिन एक आफ्टर अ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम आई थिंक फॉर मी व्हाट हैज़ हेल्प्ड इज मैं ऐसी हूँ, दिस इज़ हाउ आई एम. यू नो दैट बीइंग ट्रू टू योर सेल्फ एंड बीइंग अ बिट ट्रूथफुल ऑलवेज हेल्प्स. एक बार जब इफ़ यू आर बीइंग ट्रू, डरने की कोई बात नहीं होती है, ऐसा मुझे लगता है.
I think it works.
I'd
Yes.
like to add to that कभी-कभी क्या होता है that you really always want to be authentic self, you want to be honest, you want to answer genuinely, but the fear is always there that will what I'm saying in the present moment with all that emotion, will that be worded differently? Will that be misconstrued? And when you're starting off, you have to be careful about these things. I feel like to me, the sign of success is when you can be completely relaxed and not worry that what you say will end up affecting your career or your work life. So I think even when, you know, we're talking...
That's when you retire. In this current scenario, only when you retire. Huh? नहीं तो नहीं possible है.
But the good part is that today I think that even journalists are able to see through very polished, manicured answers or behavior, and the way they engage with you is in such a candid manner that you do feel comfortable enough to really be honest and genuine, I feel. So it can go either way.
Let's find out.
So I think research अलग-अलग जगह से थोड़ा-थोड़ा लिया हुआ है, क्योंकि हमेशा मैं कहती हूँ कि ये एक थॉट प्रोसेस है एंड दिस इज़ द वे ऑफ थिंकिंग, और जो हम सिर्फ इंडिया में नहीं ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड देख रहे हैं कि आइदर मोर एंड मोर इट्स बिकमिंग कि ये दो तरह की थॉट प्रोसेस है. इफ़ यू आर आइदर यू आर विद मी और यू आर अगेंस्ट मी. तो अगर so the point here was that Amina was a character which was more of a thought process. So my research was in journalists, people who think in a certain way from the media, and I think it's an amalgamation of that. Would you agree with me on that? So it wouldn't be just any one person, but kind of a mix of the way of thinking.
You must have been offered a lot of OTT shows before this one. So what was the reasons for choosing The Broken News, and did you instantly agree or did you take your time thinking for it?
So I have to thank Samir for that because he's been very persistent. He had come to me with, there have been various scripts always coming, touch wood, I've been lucky that way. Look, it's going to be a slightly long answer, but I hope to explain this. I'm very grateful for the career that I have had, and it has been because of the way I look, and I'm thankful that that has been there because it's a visual medium. But somewhere as an actor, after a point you feel, can I go beyond this image? There is more to me. And somewhere I felt I was not getting that across. So after I had my child and when I had taken that break, when I wanted to come back to fiction, I wanted to come back with something which would kind of break that mold a bit and not be in the same mold that what I had done. One, I don't live in the past, and I was done with that phase. I thought I had evolved as a person, and I wanted that to come across in my work now. I had a couple of things that I needed ticked in the role that I chose. Like I mentioned earlier, I wanted the character to have a strong voice. I wanted the story to have certain meaning, and it should mean something for the world also. And I wanted hope, and I wanted to play my age, most importantly. I wanted the liberation of that, and I didn't want to be trapped in not playing my age. So I think this character ticked all those boxes for me. And one more box is that the people you work with is very, very important because you spend so much of time with them, you're so vulnerable around them. So the team was very important, and I think I got the best team possible. So that was a wonderful, coincidence.
I actually consider myself very lucky because I got to be part of both these worlds, not just Awaz Bharti with Amina, played by Sonali ma'am, but also Josh 24/7, as we saw in the trailer with Jaideep. I have to say this about her. Of course, I've been fans of both these people, and now I'm happy that earlier I was just a fan, now I'm a friend who's also a fan. To see the sort of dedication and to have that spirit of still wanting to learn is what I saw, in her. It's incredible, the energy that she would come with. And I think today, acting and being on set is such a collaborative process. It doesn't matter आपने कितना काम किया है. मतलब जिसका पहला काम होगा, वही enthusiasm से वो set पे आएगा, और जिन्होंने बहुत काम किया है, जो superstars हैं, वही उनके लिए भी ज़रूरी है कि वो उतना ही enthusiasm लेकर आएं. So I loved the fact that you firstly made us all so comfortable and allowed us to just share our mind and just your energy. I think she's just smiling all the time, and she's sunshine. So we had long shooting days. So in all of that, just being around her was so lovely. I mean, I really do love you. You know that. And thank you. And with Jaideep, I think just being in the frame with him, I'm looking at him while he's acting. I'm just watching him and I'm like, okay, wait, you're in the scene. His presence, his persona, he's so relaxed. And हमने बहुत बातें की, life के बारे में बहुत बातें की. For me, more than acting, I'm curious to know about the person behind the actor, because that is what I will take back. मुझे सीख वहाँ से मिलती है. तो मुझे बहुत मज़ा आया, and I hope I get to do lots more work with the both of them.
So what made you to come on OTT with this subject? Because already we see all this in reality, being a journalist.
You mean to say bold, right? Yeah. So, okay. जब मुझे ये सब्जेक्ट के बारे में बोला गया, बताया गया basically, and when I watched the original show, as I said कि बहुत नहीं, actually ऐसे शो पे काम करने का मौका नहीं मिलता, बिल्कुल नहीं मिलता. So really, I mean, big thank you to Z5 and BBC both कि उन्होंने इस शो को बनाने का सोचा, चाहा और बनाया भी, you know. इस शो मतलब somewhere, you know, something which we really believed in, the show also wanted to say the same thing, you know. और जब वो हो जाता है कि you know you really are married to the content you're working on, like you know you as a person basically are so invested in what you're trying to say, you know, so वो फिर किसी और की कहानी नहीं है, फिर वो हमारी कहानी है जो हम बताना चाहते हैं basically, उसके बारे की कहानी है, and then once that happens everything else starts falling into place, you know. And ये obviously media के बारे की कहानी है, this is about media, but I think this more than that, this is about the society we are living in, you know. It's not just about the media. It's very easy कि अच्छा मीडिया को बोल दो कि नहीं भाई आपने ये कर दिया, तो वो भी तो टर्न अराउंड करके बोलते हैं आप देखते हैं इसके लिए हम लोग दिखाते हैं, तो ये एक सर्कल है बेसिकली, हम लोग उसी के अंदर घुस गए कि क्योंकि कोई देखता है इसके लिए दिखाया जा रहा है, कोई दिखा रहा है इसके लिए देखा जा रहा है बेसिकली, तो थोड़ा सा इस चीज़ को एक हम बहुत भाग रहे हैं एक्चुअली, हमें थोड़ा सा रुक के थोड़ी सांस लेके सोचना चाहिए, थोड़ी सी कोर्स करेक्शन की कहीं पर ज़रूरत है दोनों एंड से. वो शो प्राइमरली स्पीक्स अबाउट दैट, यू नो, मतलब मीडिया वर्ल्ड के बारे में है, बट इट्स मोर अबाउट द काइंड ऑफ कोर्स करेक्शन आवर सोसाइटी नीड्स समवेयर बेसिकली. वो थॉट कहीं पे निकल आए, वो दैट शुड बी द ऑडियंस का एक जो घर पे जो लेके जा रहे हैं, जो रह रहा है उनके साथ, दैट्स व्हाट आवर इंटेंशन इज, एंड आई एम वेरी हैप्पी दैट वी हैव सक्सीडेड टू अ सर्टेन डिग्री डेफिनेटली.
Can we see some of the known faces of media interact, like Amina ma'am, Sonali ji play कर रहे हैं, ऐसा कोई particular, I won't take the names of तो क्या उनका रोल कहीं ना कहीं आपने उनको पोर्ट्रे किया है?
नहीं, मुझे ऐसा नहीं लगता बेसिकली, मतलब मैं इजीली बोल दूँ एक अच्छा कंट्रोवर्सी भी खड़ा हो जाएगा, बट नहीं, एक्चुअली ये कम ज़्यादा मायनों में हर जगह पर है बेसिकली, दोनों मतलब गुड बैड दोनों बेसिकली. तो आई थिंक हमने वी डोंट वांट टू पॉइंट फिंगर एट अ पर्टिकुलर पर्सन, और वो करके कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है, तो फिर वही हो जाएगा कि वो जो टीवी पे हो रहा है हम भी वही कर रहे हैं. तो आई थिंक जनरली हमारा अप्रोच ये रहा है बेसिकली, वी वांट टू स्पीक अबाउट दिस वर्ल्ड, और जो मे बी 20 years बैक 30 years बैक जब हम लोग जहाँ पर थे, अब जहाँ पर पहुँचे, किसी को इसके बारे में सोचने की ज़रूरत है एक्चुअली. तो शो ये कहना चाह रहा है.
I think there's a huge responsibility. I think what we are talking about is two thoughts and not any people. एक society है आज जो एक type of thought सुनती है, और एक society है आज जो एक particular type of thought सुनती है. So we have to toe the line very carefully without trying to portray a particular notion that we believe in one thought or the other. We've just put out something that we believe is happening in society, and as Vinay said, we ourselves need to reflect on what we want to watch as individuals today.
And imagine the responsibility when BBC and Z both have their news media houses. So, I mean, the responsibility was really, really immense.
The trailer looks very intense. So, please tell us your experience working with Sonali.
कोई होगा जो मेरे सवाल ये मेरे जवाब को नकारेगा कि जैसे श्रेया ने कहा, इट्स अ प्रिविलेज टू बी विद हर in the same show. तो हम कोई साथ में सीन नहीं कर पाए, वो बहुत अजीब सी बात है, but I have seen working both of them in their new channel, and
Jaideep, sorry to interrupt, but आपने जो कहा second season,
definitely
it's for that.
war is head on. So it was great. और वो उनका OTT का पहला वो है, जहाँ तक मैं समझ पाया, मुझे पूरी बात समझ नहीं आई, बट उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. OTT वो कभी से एक्टर हैं और हमेशा रहेंगी, जहाँ तक मुझे लगता है, जब तक वो चाहेंगी. और it was brilliant experience with all of them. Like Taruk was there, and of course श्रेया जो के दोनों न्यूज चैनल्स के दोनों एडिटर इन चीफ के साथ काम कर सकती है, कर चुकी है उस शो में, तो अमेजिंग एक्सपीरियंस था सबके साथ. एंड तारुक ब्रो, यू लुकिंग कूल.
फेक न्यूज़ के बारे में आपके क्या विचार हैं?
फेक न्यूज़ के बारे में सो आई थिंक थोड़ा सा रिपीट करूंगी जो मैं कह रही थी इससे पहले भी, कि ये जो शो है इट्स अ मिरर टू द सोसाइटी. और जो विनय सर ने कहा, जैसे हमारी सोसाइटी किस डायरेक्शन में जा रही है, ये हमको थोड़ा रुक के सोचना बहुत ज़रूरी है. And I think that's also because technology इतनी बदल गई है, information is so easily available. और मुझे लगता है कि कहीं पे हम confuse हो गए हैं कि information है या knowledge है. और हमको लगता है कि information knowledge है. जबकि knowledge is something that you need, you should revere, you should respect. But जो हमें दिया जा रहा है वो knowledge है या information, इसको differentiate करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. और जिस दिन हम अगर हमारे देखने वाले व्यूअर्स को अगर हम ये बात समझा सके कि इन्फॉर्मेशन है, नॉलेज नहीं है, इन्फॉर्मेशन जो होता है उसके लिए ड्यू डिलिजेंस ज़रूरी होता है. और मुझे लगता है कि हर एक को जो भी इन्फॉर्मेशन उनके पास आता है, क्योंकि हम इंडस्ट्रियल एज से आगे बढ़ चुके हैं, हम इन्फॉर्मेशन एज में हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी के एज में हैं, यहाँ पे हमें ड्यू डिलिजेंस, हर एक खबर जो आपके पास आती है, इन्फॉर्मेशन जो आपके पास आता है, उसका ड्यू डिलिजेंस करके अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि ये सही है या फेक है, ये आई थिंक सबकी जिम्मेदारी बन चुकी है. जब तक कि मे बी देर इज़ अ सिस्टम इवेंचुअली, लेकिन इट इज़ सो न्यू. ये पिछले 5-8 सालों से ये इंफॉर्मेशन का ओवरलोड लिटरली हो चुका है. सो आई थिंक एज अ सोसाइटी हम कहीं पे ग्रैपल कर रहे हैं इस प्रॉब्लम के साथ, और हम पहुंच जाएंगे वहाँ पे. और इसीलिए ऐसी कहानियाँ इस वक्त में बहुत ज़रूरी हैं, ऐसा मुझे लगता है.
एक्चुअली हमारे शो में एक इंटरेस्टिंग एस्पेक्ट वो भी दिखाया गया है कि डिजिटल एज में न्यूज़ कैसी स्प्रेड होती है. Well, we can't escape the fact that yes, now it's all about what is happening online, the way things are spread. और इस WhatsApp, Twitter एज में चीज़ें फैलाना, चीज़ें लिखना, बातें करना बहुत कन्वीनियंट और आसान हो गया है. बट एट द सेम टाइम हम इसके रेपरकशंस के बारे में ज़्यादा नहीं सोचते जब तक वो हमारे घर में बात ना आए. तो एज एन इंडिविजुअल समहाउ मैं कहीं भी कुछ भी पढ़ूं, पहली बार पढ़ के मैं उसे मानती ही नहीं जब तक मैं ठीक से उसके बारे में मल्टीपल सोर्सेज से पढूं या ना पढूं. तो आई थिंक वो एक सिनिसिज्म, आई वुडंट यूज द वर्ड सिनिसिज्म, बट आई थिंक एक जस्ट अवेयरनेस आ गया है कि आजकल मुश्किल है इजीली बिलीव करना या मानना कि क्या सही है और क्या गलत है. बट जस्ट द होप इज़ कि वो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लोग समझे, बिकॉज the media is so powerful. The media has the power to change. It has the power to change for the better and to, you know, make things worse. So I just hope that everyone who's in the position, who has this responsibility, realizes how much they are needed, how much they are valued. And हमारा show, more than pointing out at a person or anything, दिखा रहा है कि जो लोग एट द रिसीविंग एंड होते हैं उनके साथ क्या क्या होता है, एंड एट द सेम टाइम जो जर्नलिस्ट हैं, न्यूज़ प्रोड्यूसर्स हैं, उनके भी क्या चैलेंजेस आ सकते हैं इन अ वर्ल्ड लाइक टुडे, जहाँ पे आज बैठे बैठे मैं यहाँ कुछ भी लिख सकती हूँ, यू नो, and the damage can be done or not. So I think it will be nice for people to introspect when they watch it. और show में बहुत मज़ेदार चीज़ें भी हैं. So it's not just you
hard
know,
hitting only.
Of course, there's a lot of interesting tracks that you'll also see.
I realized this actually when I realized that Wikipedia could be edited. पहले पता नहीं था लोगों को.
Yes.
जो भी लिखा होता था बिलीव कर लेते थे सबकी. फिर as my age progressed, others didn't progress. That's when I realized ये तो चल रहा है edit यहाँ पे. Yeah, I think that itself was the biggest realization.
So how much did you fall back on the singer or the musician in you for this character of yours, both of you?
I'm so sorry.
I can't actually. Even I can't seem to hear.
Is it audible now?
How did musicians fall back?
Yeah, is it audible now?
Yes, much better. Yes.
So I was saying every character has a set rhythm or a breathing pattern. So how much did you fall back on the musician or the singer in you to execute this character?
I agree with you that every character has a rhythm and, you know, a set pattern, but I feel like I could separate the two fairly easily, because this was a very you know, different space for me also to be in. I've never done a character like this before. It was extremely refreshing, and the fact that it was so new to me, I think that pattern just kind of came naturally. Actually, I don't know if I'm right about that. Vanessa will confirm. But
I also want to add what he's saying. The reason he asked that also is because they both sing.
Yeah.
That's the reason why also he went into that rhythm. So in case you're wondering कि suddenly इन्होंने singing के बारे में क्यों पूछा? They are both very accomplished singers. That's the reason.
I think the space of this show was so kind of disconnected towards at least the musician part of us that we didn't need to kind of relate it to it. And I think we've only found a new pattern going along.
Yeah, I feel like acting is such an amalgamation of everything, of all the other art forms. You know, you especially in India, you know, you bring in music, you bring in dance, you bring in, of course, this new. I'm exploring this new artistry or art form altogether, and I definitely can separate between the two. But I also feel like all my life I've been preparing for this, because it's just such a culmination of everything coming together and then, you know, spewing out onto the screen. And let's see what happens. I'm honestly a little nervous, but let's see what happens.
I also have to add that, you know, the rhythm and the pattern and stuff also depends on your co-actors. I mean, when you have a person like Jaideep sir sitting in front of you, you know, you tend to follow his rhythm. You know, you tend to adapt to his pattern. You tend to kind of, he sets the tone in the scene. That's the kind of presence he has. So even with Shreya, you know, that was a much more comfortable space for me, because it was a familiar space for me, because she's been my friend. But like even the few things I did with Sangeeta, it's all different depending on who you're with on screen. So I think that matters a lot.
How do you, is it related to Sonali Bendre in real life or no?
So, as an actor, I will say कि हर character में हम अपनी थोड़ी सी खुद को डालते ही हैं और कहीं पे वो character को अपने साथ लेके भी जाते हैं. तो ये एक mix होता है as an actor. I feel कहीं पे एक वक्त था जब मुझे लगता था कि मैं कितनी अच्छी तरह से compartmentalize करती हूँ मेरे life को, but that's not possible. हम हमेशा कुछ न कुछ लेके और देके जाते हैं कैरेक्टर्स के हिसाब से, और इसीलिए फिक्शन करने का मज़ा ये है कि आप अलग अलग कैरेक्टर्स इनहैबिट कर सकते हो और वो कैरेक्टर्स के बिहेवियर का जो कॉन्सिक्वेंस होता है वो आपको रियली फेस नहीं करना पड़ता. सो फॉर मी प्लेइंग अमीना वाज वंडरफुल, क्योंकि अमीना का जो स्ट्रेंथ है और कहीं पे उसका एक विजन है जो उसको लगता है कि आई एम सेट, मैंने यहाँ तक ये अचीव किया हुआ है और दिस इज़ द वे ऑफ लाइफ. और कहीं पे आज वो इस जगह पे खड़ी है जहाँ पे सब कुछ जो द वर्ल्ड एज शी न्यू इट, या जिस तरह से न्यूज़ बनती थी या जिस तरह से वो काम करती आई है, जो उसके जो उसका एनवायरनमेंट था वर्क प्लेस का, सब चेंज हो रहा है एंड समथिंग न्यू इज़ हैपनिंग. और दैट आई रिलेट टू, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि जो आज की दुनिया है वहाँ पे आफ्टर वर्किंग फॉर द लॉन्ग अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम दैट आई हैव वर्कड इन, इंडस्ट्री बहुत चेंज हो गई है विद द प्लेटफॉर्म्स कमिंग इन. अलग अलग डिफरेंट वॉइसेस को एक प्लेटफॉर्म मिल गया है, डिफरेंट कैरेक्टर्स को जैसी कहानियाँ हैं उनको जगह मिली है कि हम उनको देख सकते हैं, सुन सकते हैं. टेक्नीशियंस, राइटर्स, डायरेक्टर्स, एक्टर्स नए जो आए हैं, दे आर सो इंटरेस्टिंग और वो इतनी अलग चीज़ें कर रहे हैं दैट फॉर मी अमीना की तरह मैं भी एक नई ज़िंदगी को, एक नई चीज़ सीख रही हूँ. सो वो आई थिंक वॉज समथिंग दैट आई रियली आइडेंटिफाइड विद, द नीड टू ग्रो, द नीड टू कीप लर्निंग एंड द नीड टू इवॉल्व.
सनसनी या सच, अगर आपको मौका मिले चूज करने के लिए, सनसनी
से सनसनी सुनना किसी कोई नहीं चाहेगा.
सनसनी में कोई नहीं आएगा, आप ये बोल रहे हो?
नहीं, कोई नहीं, सनसनी कोई नहीं सुनना चाहेगा. मतलब ये अजीब सी बात है, जैसे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले सब इस बात को कह रहे थे कि वो चीज आप थोड़ी देर बाद जब उसको आपकी सच्चाई, आपको सनसनी की सच्चाई पता चलेगी ना, तो आप अपने आप को कोसते फिरोगे. तो बेटर है कि आप सच की तरफ रहो, तो बहुत सारी चीजें आसान हो जाती हैं, बहुत सारी दिक्कतें आसान हो जाती हैं.
बचपन में जब ट्रूथ और डेयर खेलते थे कोई ट्रूथ नहीं बोलता था सर, सब डेयर ही करते थे. मतलब कि फ्रॉम व्हाट आई
हरियाणा के गांव में था सर, हमें ट्रूथ डेयर का गेम भी नहीं पता था.
अच्छा. ऑलराइट गाइस, we'll go with you all. और सोनाली मैम, आर यू रेडी? व्हिच वुड यू चूज? आपकी लाइफ में आप क्या चूज करेंगे? यस, ये सारे एक्टर्स के लिए.
ओके, आई थिंक सच डेफिनेटली जो जयदीप ने कहा वैसे, लेकिन ह्यूमन बीइंग हूँ तो कहीं पे कभी कभी सच में थोड़ी सी सनसनी आ सकती है, पर सनसनी में भी सच होना चाहिए. दैट आई थिंक इज द
एब्सोल्युटली, आई एग्री विथ हर. और इंटरेस्टिंगली मेरा जो किरदार है वही इन दोनों सॉर्ट ऑफ वर्ल्ड्स के बीच एक्सप्लोर करने की कोशिश कर रहा है, बिकॉज राधा का कहना ये हमेशा से है कि यस मुझे कहानियाँ, सच्ची कहानियाँ बतानी है, बट अडेप्ट करना है. आज सब अटेंशन के लिए मतलब बहुत चीज़ें बोलते हैं, एवरीथिंग इज़ अ फाइट फॉर अटेंशन, टू बी हर्ड, टू बी सीन. तो कीपिंग दैट इन माइंड, हम कैसे हमारी कहानी जो ट्रूथफुल है या जो भी हमें पैशनेटली बतानी है, वो हम एक लोगों तक पहुंचने के लिए, एक कनेक्ट एस्टैब्लिश करने के लिए क्या क्या कर सकते हैं. सो दैट इज़ द स्ट्रगल. इतना कहना आसान नहीं है कि बस सच हमें बताना है, हमें कहना है तो कह देते हैं लोग मान लेंगे. नहीं, वो मतलब इतनी चीज़ें हैं, मे बी दे नॉट इंटरेस्टेड. सो मे बी लाइक अ यंगर वॉइस लाइक राधा इज ट्राइंग टू ब्रिज दैट गैप as to what can I creatively do to be heard. Even if it means adding some sansani, I'll do what it takes to make my point being heard.
It's a such sunny.
It's a such sunny. We found a hashtag for the show.
I like it. Is that your answer? Such sunny bus. What about you?
I would say कि सनसनी भी कभी कभी सच लग सकती है आपको, डिपेंडिंग ऑन वॉट यू वॉन्ट टू हियर. क्योंकि सच एज Shreya said, is not interesting to people. People don't want to hear. People want to hear, and the journalists, they know कि ये हम छाप देंगे, ये सब एकदम गल्प करके खा लेंगे अच्छी तरह से. So you have to choose कि आपको मतलब उसमें कितना मसाला डालना है. So I think like my character proposes something and she gets shot down. She's like, तुम आवाज़ भारती में हो. Like you need to get with it and report more of what truly people need to hear more than what they want to hear. And if I had to choose, of course, I would go with such because I'm from Awaz Bharti.
Sonali, so next year you'll be season 2. You'll be for Josh, Sansani.
Depends.
बहुत बढ़िया सवाल. You got
It's a
all the answers. हाँ,
possibility.
पता भी चल गया season 2 है कि नहीं. Very nicely done.
मान लो कि आप अपने किरदार में हो एंड राइट नाउ सोनाली मैम आपके सामने बैठी है. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू आस्क द क्वेश्चन. कोई सवाल जो आप सोनाली मैम से पूछना चाहो. You are a journalist right now. She is not the journalist. She is Sonali Bendre. What you want to ask to her?
ये सच या सनसनी वाला?
Whatever.
वाला है.
Whatever.
ओहो, dangerous. वो सनसनी वाला है.
सर, मैं अभी उतना बड़ा जर्नलिस्ट ही नहीं हूँ जो मैं सोनाली बेंद्रे से सवाल पूछूं.
सर, ये आपका मौका है सर. यही तो होता है, एक
As
मौके की
Taruk,
तलाश में
as
रहते हैं
Taruk.
लोग.
How would you like the news to be broken, ma'am?
How would you like?
The news to be broken, ma'am.
Without the sansani, more with the such.